Right, so this is a video on how to make a Krenov style wooden plane. Well, why would I want to make a wooden plane when there's so many, store-made metal planes around? Well, one of the reasons is, well, two reasons actually. One reason is in Japan, they use Japanese planes. This is a Japanese plane here. It's designed to be cut, to be used on pull. So it works, I guess, because there's all these people using them for all these years. But I don't like the pulling because it kind of tires me out, especially on hardwoods with wide blade. You need quite a bit of force to pull. Japanese planes were actually originally used for softwoods because that's all they had in the old days, and it works brilliantly for them. But for hardwoods, I find it's a bit tough to pull, so I prefer the push type Western planes. Another reason is in Japan they don't actually sell the Western planes. I've looked all over to try to find one, and I can't find one for sale at all locally. So my only options were buy one from the States, like auctions or from stores in the States, and the shipping is going to be crazy high because planes are pretty heavy, especially metal ones. So I decided to make my own. But even for people in the States or wherever, where you can have access to cheap metal planes, it might not be a good idea to buy one, especially new, because they usually need a lot of tuning work. The sole might not be perfectly flat, the mouth might not be parallel, or the bed might be all lumpy, and all sorts of problems could happen. So you're going to have to tune one up to make it usable, really. There's antique ones you can buy off eBay, but again, they need a bit of clean-up work and tuning, although they are better. So instead of dealing with all that crap, I decided to just make my own wooden plane because it's cheaper, and I thought it'd be a fun project. Anyway, so this is Japanese plane. I actually bought this recently for cheap, and the reason I bought this was because I wanted the iron, the blade here. This is going to be my donor blade. Basically, I'm going to use this blade in my wooden plane. So the materials you need are, well, obviously a blade of some sort. You can buy blades from Ron Hock. There's also all sorts of other places you can buy planes for wooden planes. Right, so first thing you need, really, blade. You need a heel block. This is what the blade is going to be resting on here, and this will be the kind of center block of the lamination. And you need a toe block, which will be the front of the plane, so like this. You need two sides. These need to be long enough to kind of stick here like this. And so this is basically your plane. Your blade sits in here, and this is your body. You push it this way. So to hold the blade in place, I've got this piece of 6mm brass rod. I'll cut this down to length, and I'll just poke it through here, jam it in, and the blade can kind of wedge under it, and then you'll have a wooden wedge to like tap into here to hold it in place. Measurements of my particular plane here, the sides here are actually 5 centimeters thick or tall by over 30 centimeters long, and it's 13 centimeters thick, this piece here. So I've got two of these for the sides, and these blocks here, basically you just want this to be chunky enough to hold the blade in place. And this particular piece is 45mm by 47mm or so. The width of this is just so I can stick my blade in, obviously. I want to stick it in here. This is same width, 47 by... That height doesn't actually matter because all it is just, you know, something to hold on to really. And yeah, the angles here, I got these cut by the lumberyard for me. This one is 50 degrees, this one's 75 degrees from the horizontal. This is just to provide some space for the chips to clear, and this is going to be my bedding angle, which will be 50 degrees for this plane. I'm deciding on making this into a sort of smallish jack type plane, so that's why this is this long. It's going to be about 30 centimeters long when I'm finished. Wood to use would be any hard wood. You need hard because obviously this is going to be pushed along all sorts of wood and it's going to wear the sole out pretty quick if it's soft. So you want hardwood and you want it to be quarter sawn. This is actually not quarter sawn, it's kind of like, I don't know what you'd call this, rift sawn. But yeah, that'll do anyway. But just make sure it's hard and pretty stable. This is actually, these two pieces here are Satine. They are I think they're called bloodwood. They're not very red for bloodwood, so I'm not actually sure if this is actually bloodwood. But these two side pieces are something called Pao Rosso. I don't know what that is, but it's pretty hard. It looks almost the same. Anyway, yeah, that's the wood. Grain orientation for the sides is also important. Say I'm going to be pushing the plane this way, then I want the grain here. You can see the grain runs kind of diagonal along here like this. You want it to be kind of facing backwards, as it were, as you were pushing it this way. That's so, because if you do it this way, these bits here will stick into the wood, as it were, and just provide more friction than is really necessary. So yeah, make sure you orient it this way for both sides. And that's it. So the next thing we will be doing is to square these two blocks here up and true this surface here for the blade to sit on. And that'll be done with just sandpaper on a block. Okay, so this is my setup here for truing the blocks. This is just a scraper I used to scrape some more heavy mistakes out. This is just a melamine coated kind of ply board. This is just a scrap. You want this to be a flat surface. This is, you know, flat enough. This is some 60 grit sandpaper, and basically all you do is you well, find out where you want to, you know, shave off to make this flat, and you place it on there and get going. That's for this face. For these faces, you just get a square, make one true surface. So I've decided to take the sole as the my reference surface, and then got a square, found out where, you know, high spots and stuff are, marked them off, and either use a scraper or the sandpaper again and just take the high spots off. And just keep checking your work regularly and it should be all okay. Yep, so get on with this.